Hey guys, this is Andrei, a certified translator and a real estate concierge. The last summer days here in September, and today we're talking about properties in Minsk. There's one more client, obviously, from an unnamed but exotic country, positive guy. He wishes to understand the structure of the market before he throws in some money for the residency, like for first step, nothing major, nothing like 0.1 million or something, just reasonable, just the way we recommend to do it anywhere and always. And he wishes to see samples of the properties in Minsk, so that's what we're doing today. We're going to see the places that we could plan into a one-day view, basically 2 days, because you can't really put all the desired places into one day because people are busy, people are away, people are on holidays, the agents do not necessarily have keys, so that's something you have to plan and keep in mind if you have a short time frame, and best to view the places before you get even here, to discard them on obvious reasons. And all this can be documented, and you can just use your time more effectively once you're on the ground. But it's not the case here. We wish to see everything. We wish to see it with our own eyes. And there's going to be 4 cool examples, realistic examples, real examples of properties that we will roughly describe. We're not selling any properties here, so we will just leave the sizes, the amounts of money, rough locations, approximate locations, and you will be the judge of your own. Our samples covered the lowest to the mid range of the market, and the samples were from Khrushchev era, from Stalin era, from the modern days, and the very modern standard option that will be concluding this review. Basically, it's based somewhere behind me in one of these modern buildings overlooking the second largest street, Победителей Avenue, where our beloved president seems to be planning a trip right now. So all the preparations and all the blockages are about to be placed out there. So let us go somewhere else before that happens. And each of these segments has its own like little wrinkles, issues to be aware of. About that you will consult with related specialists, certified realtors if need be. And that's something we can arrange for you at LLC SAS. My company has been relocating people to Belarus over the last 3 years quite successfully. We major in real estate and immigration, paperwork and everything, translation services for sure. So, if you need any of our services, please let me know. The phone is right here. A somewhat important remark. During this presentation, I will try to focus just on the technical side of the properties. I mean, technical as we see it, the obvious. And the negative parts will be preserved for my client who actually ordered this review and presentation, and the real figures, the exact figures, the judgments of the related specialists will be transferred directly in an uncensored video. I hope you will understand this. Thank you very much. Also, please keep in mind that these are sample properties. They were not picked exactly to be the best in their class, although some of them are like one of the 2 or 3 in their class in that area. And that's quite important. That does reflect the trend that the properties are being swept away, something like this. That's just what I was expecting in February or March in one of the real estate updates, saying that when people will be feeling that the money is about to lose value, devaluation, a little crisis happening, maybe after New Year. Nobody knows when this is going to happen, so most of the real estate experts messed up their predictions. People are going to invest fast, and that's going to be concrete. That's going to be real estate. So our first candidate property is here in central Minsk, sitting by the Dynamo Stadium and a few other interesting and somewhat useful installations. It's a walk away from the city center, which is kind of useful on its own, so that could make a good rental, after renovation of course, or a place to live as your own base, after the renovation. So you'll see it on your own. Many things are kind of curious. Many things just clearly suggest there's no investment if somebody wishes to sell a thing, because investment, renovation, things that never pay off, do not make people very generous in terms of what they hand over to the new buyer. Stalin flats are notable for their central locations and high ceilings. They're not necessarily 100% centrally located, but in these cases we are never looking at something more off the beaten track. They're all in the area of Karl Marx, Lenin Street, Independence Avenue and such like. Even on a charming September morning over here there is some traffic, so you don't want to get the place that overlooks the streets. I don't think it's our case because the view seems to be courtyard oriented, which is good. There's also Lyceum of the State University. Not sure how much that may be adding to the rental potential, but that's kinda cool. And what's left of the office of the European Commission is also a short walk away. It doesn't seem the capital improvement was there at any point, let's say in our era. That's the building from the 50s, and one of the positive sides is that vegetation over here that is taken care of by the locals. Some good old ladies are whiling their time away this way. The bad side is that these very same ladies would believe that the motherland owes them a great deal, and they do not really wish to throw money, which they don't have anyway, their pension money, to replace some of those wooden doors or to paint over some of those stairwells. And if you're a foreigner, you must be rich, and if you're rich, that's your job, to improve the stairwell, staircase view, brush up the walls, and so on and so forth. So that's something you'll have to keep in mind. The next option we're seeing is considerably more conservative. It's a Khrushchev-era flat. It's somewhat renovated, we might say, not a complete zero thing. Sitting in a green area. Let's go and see it. Let's go and see the flat itself. The next place we're inspecting is in northeastern Minsk, all the best areas to shop actually, and it's in a classical 1960s neighborhood where trees are higher than the buildings. One of the few pluses to the concept. And again, we're looking for a basic item, the cheapest row of the market, the cheapest level of the market, so you shouldn't expect a palace here, not for $50,000, and that's exactly what the client specified. Our building is right in the back there, and there's an obvious difference between this building behind me and the one sharp left where we have our candidate sitting on the 3rd floor. The building behind me went through capital improvement. The capital improvement is not necessarily treating all the things, but you can see from the very looks of the building it went through a pretty solid treatment. And it's not just about those metal balcony shields or metal plates, which are obscene to my personal taste. Obviously they never asked me, but the extra insulation layer on top of the building, the gas pipes, the plumbing and electric wires that were replaced and which we don't see. And all that is positively missing in our candidate building. which has all the traditional Soviet decor about it. Let's go and see that charming budget option inside there. Well, it is what it is. Has to be brushed up and definitely given a good cleaning after those two lads inside there. But what concerns me is a little construction site just across the street. You'll see it pretty well. Also, the litter, the signs of life that you have to pay attention to around the lodge, some strange door, some strange stuff lying around, which the agents may dismiss. Oh, that's just guys put it out for the summer there. It's not always the case, and although the location is kind of great and the price is kind of handsome, it's good for rent, but it's not something you may take for yourself, of course, depending on your life situation. Let's go and see the potential winners. My favorite district, Uruchia and Novaya Borovaya, were already 3 of my clients are happily living, and hopefully not forgetting to pay their membership fees for the community. Let's go see those 2 areas. Uruchia, eastern Minsk, one of the best middle class areas in Minsk. More or less they're about the same level. On the older side, 1980s, plenty of vegetation, green, calm, sweet, plenty of infrastructure, gyms, cafes, shops, renovation shops, supermarkets, ring road is nearby, metro station. And this is one where one of my baby refugees, an American this time, has his 2 kids now, upgraded to a 3-room flat. So he likes it, he stays here, although he had some attempts to escape to the southwest. I politely talked him out of that. He likes it. Since that's late 1980s, early 90s, it's still quality Soviet construction, and the buildings here aren't old enough to be needing renovation. They're like a transition period, reflecting the country's trends back in the past, going to capitalism. Next door area, the last one we're going to see in a few moments, is the capitalism, is the one favored by most of the investors, most of the guys relocating here. At least 3 clients still living there for the 2nd year now. And let's just have a look at a 1-room apartment here as the most vivid, most to the point example, except for the price, example of a 1-room standard property apartment in Minsk. That may be a good step on the Belarusian ground, should you opt to take such a step. And in the comments you can discuss if that's outrageous, if that's like too bad or too good, whatever your expectations were. Tell me what you think. Generally, I can share my view that the place is overpriced, of course. It's one of the two properties in this price frame in the area, and that's kind of displaying the trend pretty much. And I would say that it may find its buyer, like a desperate guy trying to push his money somewhere. Otherwise, I would wait a little bit and negotiate a little bit. The tenant of the apartment you have just seen asked me, I'm not sure if that was a serious question or something like, what's your view about what should I do if I have cash? Should I buy this place? I said, I don't really give you any professional real estate advice at this point, but if I had money, I'd wait until New Year and I would see how much is left and how many properties are still there fitting the budget. Maybe rent long term, maybe change the area, maybe change the city, depending on his occupation, of course. And it's just about if you believe in your money being of the same value in 3 months' time and of the market offering the same options at the same level in 3 months' time. And maybe a few other considerations like nuclear war, end of the world or something like this. So shop wisely, think carefully, balance the options carefully. And let's see the last option of the day, number 4 in the IT district, Novaya Borovaya. Well guys, here we are, Novaya Borovaya, that's a brand name. Kopyshe village is the geographical name, eastern Minsk, outside the ring road, but this doesn't trouble the locals much. I guess I don't have to turn the camera too much to tell you more than my dedicated review of the area tells, with drone flights and everything from a couple of years back. Now there aren't many drone flights these days. And this is where we're looking for at our last option, again in the same price range, 65er. It's one of the two, if not the only one, that's left. Pretty compact studio, designed to live in there, actually, with all the infrastructure that's fitting in and that's belonging to the concept, and that's where the community membership fees are coming from. You want to get that grass trimmed, you want to get something more than babushka can achieve by the staircase, you have to pay. It's like $5 a month, if I'm not mistaken, based on the last bill we had to pay with the client. So whether or not it's worth it, it's up to you to decide. It's your money. Here go the pictures. Enjoy the view. Well, if only if it were a little bit bigger, if only if it were a little bit more central, if only. That's what it is, that's how much it costs. Just a quick remark, guys. You all have your cash, you all have earned it hard, and you all have plenty of IQ and everything, and your experience. But it's my advice to not round it up and not to understand things here the way they go there, in Canada, in US, in Australia, in wherever. When in doubt, better ask two different parties to double check your information. Make sure that each party doesn't know you're asking the other, or they may be upset about this, but this is professional. This is collecting and digesting information. And remember that what worked yesterday for a professional, certified, licensed and all, may fail today for another professional, certified, licensed and all. So the key wisdom here, you never ask, you never get. Thank you very much for watching. This was Andrei. Cheers. So guys, as you can see, the places are available in every segment, in every sector of the market. Trouble is, many of them are in short numbers, and those of them that are priced fairly and those that do not have extra conditions, like the guys are not looking for replacement options, they're not really on the market for too long. So shop reasonably, choose wisely, hunt quickly, and I hope to be seeing you in Minsk someday. If you need a consultancy, if you need a practical advice, please message me directly. Donation links, if anybody wishes to help the channel, that's always welcome. $5-10 just to feel my content is needed, not really to, wire all your lost money to support me. The feedback is very welcome. General comments, general questions in the comments, everything else directly through the phones. Thank you very much, and cheers from Minsk. See you later.